So let's go ahead and wrap up the day with a little chat about the market conditions and just the usual stuff. Guys, if you have any questions, just go ahead and fire them out in the chat room, and I'll address them. So anything at all that you can think of that you want answered, this is the time that we like to do it. So, yeah, I guess not much to say about today so far. One thing that I can say I'm really happy about is just avoiding so many potential crash and burn long scenarios, which means that our triggers and ideas are really working well. And sometimes it's, if you try to look at the glass half full, is if you've been sitting on your hands all week waiting for a long setup that never came, that's 100 times better than sitting here throwing money at every long setup and losing, right? So next week when things turn back up, because like I said, I think it's just a pause week in the action for small caps, and I think what's gonna happen is when things ramp back up, most likely next week, I think what's gonna happen is everyone's gonna be overconfident on the short side, so I'm gonna be watching out for that. And if I start to notice, hey, I think people are shorting too early, I think the overconfidence on the short side is going to cause squeezes, I'm going to be really looking very, very sharply for long positions that we can take and ride, because that's what tends to happen is people aren't able to adjust as fast as we are, and when it's a chaser's market, those guys chase, they get rewarded for chasing, which is a bad thing, because then when things stop working, they're still chasing, so they make money one week and then they lose it all and more the next week. And so what we do is, our idea is, as soon as the chase stops working, we're starting to short and they're still chasing, and vice versa. So adaptability, number one thing. I've been trading for, it's actually going to be 11 years now, which is crazy. It makes me feel old. In this summer, 11 years. So as you can imagine, I've been through pretty much every market that there is, and I've had to adapt many, many times. And in the past, it's taken me longer time to adapt. And what I've noticed is that even after this many years, I'm still improving constantly. I'm still finding new ways to be innovative in my trading. I'm still finding new ways to improve. Ever since we started journaling, thanks to JB's suggestion, I've been more selective and more accurate and more consistent than ever in 10 years still. So it's amazing that you can still just continue growing and improving no matter what. It's really inspiring. So I have, like I said, we're still working on getting set up, or hopefully getting things set up for, broker access to those of you guys who want shorts who live in the US. But for most of you guys, a lot of the time, sure, trader's going to have what you need. Although you know how I feel about that. And other than that, I think that this week was a bit of a pause week in the small cap action. There still was, the market was very strong this week, and that's a good sign. But shorting this week was like shooting fish in a barrel. It seemed like it was just so easy. So easy that next week I feel like it's going to start creating some squeezes, and we're going to really be able to take advantage of some longs. And believe me, I'm just waiting, and I cannot wait for the next opportunity for one of those massive squeezers to come up where we can get an early signal on it, get ahead of the herd, and really, really ride out a monstrous trade. This week has been kind of, just taking what we can get. Kind of feeding off the scraps here and there, but still pulling in some decent green days every day, and just looking to take what we can get. So I guess we'll talk about SKYS. So yeah, this has been the going rate all week for small caps. Is looks like your standard chat room buys it all up in the morning. 90% of their traders get stuck long while he sells, and then everyone's stuck long, and we can look to get short. So I was thinking my idea in this one today was not really short in the front side. I thought it was too extended to short right through this candle. And again, you guys know what I'm kind of looking for there. If it's a huge extended move down, I don't want to chase it through that area because sometimes these can bounce and have a second move, and I don't like to sit through that second move. So as soon as it got through VWAP, retested and rejected, I was a little late on this one, but the idea was around 287 for the short on a lower high. I'm usually a little more aggressive with the entries, but right in this area here, right around 287 in this area on the push back up. And the timing was pretty good, as it's been lately. Pretty much got that wash within a few minutes. And yeah, and I mean, just a really clean trade. And 3 to 4 targets were reached on that one. The fourth one, I was thinking of 42 a finish on this one. When it started to bounce there, just hit the last quarter out, just over 70. So that was a really solid trade. Very low risk. Really clear sort of guidance all the way through it. I hope you guys enjoyed the commentary. And for those of you that weren't able to participate, just hang tough, man. Next week's going to be a new week. Be lots of long setups, but the last thing I want is to feel pressured to find long setups in a market where I know they're not there. That's just going to result in us making mistakes. All right, so I want to keep this beautiful consistency we've been seeing. Very proud of the good work we've been doing lately, and I couldn't be happier with the participation in chat. Especially some of the really great teamwork we've been doing between me, Bark Trader, and Trade Addict with their fundamental analysis, giving us a little more confidence sometimes, whether it's on the short side or the long side. Just they're doing their research, digging through the SEC filings and digging through the PRs, and then lets me focus on the true technical aspect for the timing of these trades. And overall, it's just been really such a great month so far to start out. So I'm going to update my journal with SKYS. And then we'll talk about Jagx. Um, 287. I think my stop on this one was going to be 95. I forget now. It was so long ago this morning. I believe I was looking at basically a 90 to 95 stop on that first position. Typically our stops are 10 cents or less. And when the reward is as good as we get on all these trades and the timing is as good as it is, even though we haven't been getting stopped out lately because our timing's been impeccable, even if there are a few where we stop out, it's a mosquito bite compared to the gains we make when these trades work. 295 would have been the stop on that one. I'm not going to go over every exit on it. The lowest exit. Actually, I'll have to go check my order history here. I think it was in the 50s. So SKYS. I had fills at 78 for a tiny bit. Uh, 75. $78, $75, $67. I kind of pieced this one out. I usually go in quarters. I kind of just scaled a little bit at a time. So there's a bunch of fills, 67, and I think the lowest one, there was 65s. So on average, I would say the exits were around 75 to 65. And I had a fill at 57, which was a really nice fill. We've been on point with finding those nice spots to get out into washes, and the last fill was over just over 270. So Yeah, this is the fill right here that makes a big difference. Big 30-cent gain on that chunk. So, yeah, notes on that one. I mean, geez, like I said, it's just, you can tell that there's all kinds of longs trapped in it. The longs were looking for a bounce. They couldn't get any luck. And then again into the close, I had that idea where 270, like they just could not get back over 285 today, no matter what. It just seemed impossible. Like they were, I would assume that most longs were just praying for a VWAP retest to sell their shares and get out for a scratch or less of a loss. But when it just doesn't even come close, you have to assume that, look, these guys are just going to be hitting the bid soon. They got to cut the loss off somewhere. They found a little bit of support at 240. And the stock's still technically up 40% in the day. Might give us a shot tomorrow. So today's date, 02/09/2017. This is going to be another short win. I was about 50-50 on longs and shorts up until this week, and now I'm up to like 19 shorts, 10 longs. So yeah, it's definitely the short side's been taken over this week, and again, I think the longs are going to catch up next week. I'll do more detailed notes later, just not to bore you guys. So that was SKYS. I think I will just add a quick annotation because I do like to be able to flip through the charts and see exactly just a quick view of where I hit it in my average exit price. So I'm not going to put an arrow on every entry and exit, but it's right around the 285 area. Just like to be able to go back through. And again, this one I didn't really use too big of a size because I thought that it could also potentially have you, like it usually you'll get a VWAP retest, so I thought that maybe it could bounce. Just wanted to keep it safe, but we had a good read on it. Just felt like it was having a lot of trouble sort of getting any upside momentum going back on under VWAP, so it was good. I'll just sort of, those are like kind of, I guess, the average fills on it, and we'll just lock that one up as a trade for today. So Jagx, you guys got me just wanting to make a long trade so bad. I just really wanted to get something going on for you guys. This ended up being basically a flat trade. The chart was there, man. It was not a bad looking chart at all. The funny thing is I actually got a short trigger after through 113, target 102, which actually worked perfect. But the setup was pretty good. It was a nice cup and handle setup. Really, the thing that was interesting about this one is that it was strong off the open. It had this nice sort of top at 113, broke through, put in a lower high, and then it went right back through a buck. So it looked really weak. I took it off my screen. I was like, you know what, this one's not coming back today. So I took it off the watch list and everything. I scratched it off earlier, and then it came back, popped up, hit my scanner again, and I was like, well, what's going on here? And I come back and I look, and it's kind of consolidating. It didn't quite give me what I would call an A+ trigger in this area, but it was holding higher lows. And then I saw the 15-minute chart, which looked actually really attractive. And regardless of the fundamentals, I know the stock is trash, I know it's garbage, but the more people that think it's garbage and the more people that are short, when you get a cup and handle setup like that in the 15, this can really create a nice little push. And if I see a low risk opportunity to take a trade, regardless of fundamentals, I'm going to take it. So this one, I actually liked how it held the higher low there, but I think it needed a little more time if it was going to give us a really nice push. Just a little more consolidation, but it came up. It looked like it was going to go. I hit the offer at 17 for a long. I should have sold some right into that push there. Tried to let it get through high a day. Sold basically a quarter at 121. Sold a little more, break even on the way back down, and then the rest at basically 16 and a tiny little bit at 15. So it's basically a flat trade. So that's all I really have to report on that one. And, just kind of more of the same of what we've been getting this week. BIOC, I wanted to talk about that one because I didn't actually get a signal on it. But I'll tell you why I was concerned about it is because it actually had what I would call a bit of a premature breakout. I actually would have played this one going into 2 p.m. if it had waited, but as you can see, it actually broke through high of day nice and early. Like, not nice and early, it's kind of a bad thing. It was around, like right in mid-afternoon, before 1:30, so not a good sign. For those of you that are curious about premature breakout rejection plays, there is a video lesson in the members portal that explains the premature breakout rejection. Okay, so you can just sort of check in there for that, and it'll give you a full explanation in case you're wondering. So overall, pretty good day today. A really solid week. Not too many trades, but the good news is pretty much actually all winners, as far as I can tell. As far as I remember from the 6, we had, and they were all shorts, guys. But again, this is just it's just one of those weeks where that's where we're at. That's where the money is. We follow the money. Next week, if it's longs. Oh yeah, I had one little flub there where I got a trigger. It looked like it wasn't going to work, and I took a minor loss on that, but then turned back around and nailed it for a win that day. That was yesterday on AEHR. And SKYS short today. So hopefully, guys, we get a couple of longs tomorrow. I'm actually now at 21 shorts and 11 longs since January 11th when we started journaling our live stream trades. But I think that those longs are really going to catch up going into next week. I just think that we're kind of having a week where the market's strong, but there's just not a lot of money flowing through the small caps. So I hope you guys are enjoying the new chat room. I absolutely love it. We got mobile apps, we have desktop apps, we have different channels for different topics of discussion. You can set notifications per channel. Make sure that you guys add yourself to the educational. I noticed that we're still missing a bunch of users aren't subscribed to the educational channel. So for webinars like the one we did today, those ones, when I record them, we post them up in the webinar section. But any new video lessons that I do that are for members only and stuff like that, that's going to wind up in the educational section of the chat room, which now is accessible through mobile devices, tablets, desktops, you name it. All right, guys, great work today. Nice patience, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Finish the week strong. All right, guys, see you tomorrow.